views and opinions of this video and comments to this channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of this channel's broadcaster. If you have a complaint about something or find the content is being used incorrectly, please don't contact the broadcaster. Alright. This is Balaclava Diaries. We're toxic, we're talking aggressive. If you don't like it, send a message. We're weed stimulated, educated, top rated, and never baited. I am the OG MacG. To my far right, Mr. Let's Party.
Bam, 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 bam. Wagwan, wagwan.
Today we have a man in the room.
Super tall, dog. Super tall.
He's a man's man. When he walked in the room, he had to duck under the fucking door. Like, yo.
I was like, who is this giant? Andre, are you that?
And it's like,
No, it wasn't.
it's like he said he was surprised. I watched a couple interviews. He said he was surprised that, you know, he made NBA friends, but these niggas was probably like, he probably hoops. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. They hailed him up like, oh, yo, you're tall too? I'm tall. Friends, like, hype.
You know the life, you know?
6 foot over.
5-time award winner of the Nightclub Awards for the best photographer. I've seen his work. It's clean as I want a photo shoot from this guy, but I don't know if I can afford it.
4K.
I'm gonna keep it real. I could get 2 pictures on the low, no?
Of course.
Okay. He's been around for 15 years, working day in, day out, from fucking Time Nightclub to
my gosh,
fucking
yeah. Rockwood on a Monday.
EFS, Rockwood, from Rockwood? That's before Time.
I'm telling you.
Yo,
Okay, hold on.
Sometimes that's way back.
Trist.
Tris, whoa.
Trist.
Times. Those are some real times.
Time on a Sunday was just, man, it was
But
just.
what I love about it is
Yeah.
that he's and I don't want to play the race card, but I'm going to do it because we do on the show. We're racist on this show. A black man that kind of infiltrated the market, you know, and the market's not usually black. Let's just keep it real. And he found a way to make it above a lot of guys that weren't his color. You know what I'm saying? So that takes an extra esteem of work if you know what it is to be a black man in North America. This man is a legend of the city, okay? Outliers don't have shit on this guy, all right? You can fucking watch as many YouTube videos as you want, but you can't put skin in the game like this one, all right? We got Chris Rain in the building. Give it up for Chris Rain.
That was probably the most impressive intro I've ever heard in my
Well,
life.
fam,
That was really great.
Like, I don't think people understand like what it is to work from fucking 12 to 2 a.m. and then maybe you get an extra gig just by being in the club and then do another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wake up and do that again the next day.
Wake up and edit. And then
I just
you know
started
what I mean?
editing, so fuck, I know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm shit at it, so fuck. You know, you gotta start somewhere, but honestly, fam, like, it's crazy to just see where you've come from and who you are now. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the club for years too, and you were that nigga, the camera in the air, and you want a picture? No, you know what I mean? Like, all the way till niggas like, yo, get my picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely started off with the like, when I started, I was, you know, shy and trying to, you know, work on my people skills to get people to feel comfortable in taking their photos. I would get a lot of no's, but now it's just like all yeses because now they're like, oh, there's the guy. Like, that's the guy. And I've seen his work.
That's gonna make me sick. He's gonna make me look sick. That's
Yeah, exactly.
2,000 likes
At first
right
it was
there.
like, nah, we don't know you like that. And then now it's like, yo. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna go through the brief history and we'll get to the questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd you grow up? Where'd you come up? With bond, parents, them,
All that type
ethnicity,
of
all
stuff.
that.
Got you.
Background.
So I'm born and raised in Toronto.
Okay.
The Dufferin, not DuPont and Lansdowne area.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. Now it's all condos. What the hell? But yeah, that's where I grew up. That area. Went to high school.
Yeah, I was just
Went to high school in Brampton.
Okay.
In Brampton.
Peel,
I'm a
baby.
Brampton.
So you made a bounce to the suburbs.
Yeah, parents separated. They moved on, and then
okay.
you know they both got places in Brampton. So I went to high school, middle school, high school in Brampton.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Brampton Centennial Secondary School.
Okay, I know where that is.
Yep, by Shoppers World. And then my final year of grade 12, I went to Fletcher's Meadow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yo, you gotta
so-
tell them about the Cinnabon at Shoppers World.
Oh my goodness.
Man don't know. That's an elite Cinnabon.
That
Like,
Cinnabon at Shoppers World
is different.
took all of my allowance. All of my allowance. My mom would give me $20 for the week. Cinnabon.
Yo, talk about how disrespectful Cinnabon is charging $15 for a one bun. Fam.
Is it $15
No,
now?
it's dangerous. No,
No,
it's
I
dangerous. Don't do it on Uber Eats.
Back
I'll
in
tell
the
you that
day, it
much.
was like $3.99 for one, right?
No, but now it's crazy. It's
Oh,
like almost $10.
See,
for one.
man doesn't live in the B anymore, and man doesn't consume
I'm out of the
Cinnabons
B.
anymore. It's
Nah,
different.
bro, I'm out of the B.
No,
The B is OT.
No,
It
no,
is.
it
It's all for you.
fam.
For
For everybody.
No,
it is,
no, it's
man.
not.
I made it out of the B, brother.
Okay, so from there, post-secondary, or did you just get into
No,
the streets?
I never went to college, never went to university.
Yeah.
I got straight to work, working construction.
Okay.
My uncle worked for this company, and then he brought me on to the company as well.
Okay.
Then the company filed Chapter 11. Didn't know what I was gonna do. I was also working at McDonald's and No Frills. Shout out to No Frills and
You was
McDonald's.
grinding. You was
I
grinding,
was
man.
grinding, bro.
Fam,
I was working at
the
McDonald's.
Bills have to pay, man. They have to pay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
okay.
I was doing the 3 jobs: construction, McDonald's, No Frills. And then after that, I turned 19, 20. And then I said, I got to figure something out for myself. And I was watching this show on TV, and it was a photography competition. And I was watching it, and it looked interesting. And I was like, how hard could this be? Like, these guys are having a camera and take a picture. How hard could it be?
Right.
And then I thought to myself, I could do that shit. And then I said, you know what? Why don't I do that shit? And then I took my last dollar that I had, because I was flat broke, took my last dollar from the severance pay that I got from the company, and I used that and bought a camera.
You hear that, guys? Don't invest in the blicky. Invest in a camera. Invest in
Something
the
else.
education.
Yeah, be
There's
a different
online
shooter,
courses.
not that shooter. Be a
Yeah,
different
you
shooter.
know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean?
Be a different shooter.
But this shooter can last for the rest of your life. The other one, you're playing
Yeah,
Russian
you did
roulette.
50. Yo, you shooting for 15 years straight. I don't know a lot of guys with the other gun. That's the other one. 15 years straight shooting the other thing ain't really working, bro.
A shooter 15 years in the game? I've never
Yeah,
heard of that.
Exactly.
before.
We don't hear
I've
no
never
none
heard
of that.
It's a life. It's a short lifespan. But
Short life.
from there, like, I want to dive into that because
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people take the opposite route. And again, we're on this platform to kind of teach the youth. As much as we're here to entertain the adults, we're here to teach the youth
Yeah.
too, right? What would you say that aspect was that pushed you to that level? Because you always had a hard work ethic. You're working 3 fucking jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You fucking know how to make bread, right? What was it that made you say, I'm not fucking doing these 3 jobs no more? Because I think it's the same thing that translates to the streets, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys be in the streets sometimes and they're working 20 hours a day and they made $150.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So talk to that guy right now about what it was that made you say, I can't do this no more. I'm transitioning. I'm going to make a leap somewhere else.
You know what? What made me take that leap is because I was between a rock and a hard place. You know what I mean? And when you're facing your biggest adversity is when you start doing things you never thought you could. And to me, I hit that breaking point where it's like, I don't have anything else to, go off of, so this has to work. I'm not a plan B type of guy like that. Like plan A, it has to work. So with that, bought my camera, studied it, spent time with it, learned all the settings, figured out that, photography is literally 90% lighting and 10% what you could really do with it. You know what I mean? It's just lighting. Perfect light. You can take a cell phone and take the most incredible photo, but with the proper light.
Stop.
Oh,
Because you're in the club, fam.
I hear you.
You're getting the fucking... What, you wait for the strobe light? You're timing the strobe light to hit the
I do
person?
time strobe lights.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a
I
timing
do
take.
time
That was
strobe
my
lights.
take.
Yeah.
What?
Because there's times where I didn't time a strobe light and I caught laser burn in my sensor.
What's a laser burn like? Explain that to me.
Some clubs in Toronto have lasers, right? And if you don't time that shit properly, that thing can go right across your lens and burn your sensor. And then every time you take a picture from now on, you get a red beam across every photo.
What? I didn't
Or
even know you
blue
could get a
beam.
Star Trek like that from the club. It's like this.
So whenever I'm in nightclubs or new venues, I pay very close attention to how the lighting works, how it's going, which rotation it's going, how often it comes around, if it's hitting a disco ball and going everywhere. Like, you have to pay attention to those things, and that's what makes, just a guy with a camera versus a real photographer. You know what I mean? Because right now...
But, okay,
go ahead.
wait.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think there's real photographers that know that, bro.
Not everyone knows that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, there's probably guys that can do a wedding, but you put them in a club atmosphere.
It's different.
Yeah, because at the
different.
wedding, it's more set up. You can be like, okay, guys, full freeze up.
Yeah.
In the club, You can't tell a shorty, yo, pose.
So what
I've
other
seen
like-
some photographers do that, where like they stop girls and like tell them how to pose and like touch them and angle them and like fix their hair for them, and it's just like, dude, like
you're doing
just,
too much.
you're doing a little too much. Just take the picture. Like I don't think women want to be touched by y'all like
When
that.
did
in the
you
club.
learn that though? Did you go through a situation where you were the guy trying to angle people, or
No,
were you
I've
always
never
kinda-
had to angle anyone. I'll just let the girls do their thing. I take the photo, show them to see if they want to fix a certain thing. Then they do it. Then I retake it. Then they like
blown
it.
away right now,
Yeah.
fam. So you're literally
That's
like
sick.
almost. It's funny because that's crazy how that transitions to shooting sports and athletes. So it's like you already know how to catch the action shot.
You got to catch the action. Yeah, yeah.
You're out here just practicing.
You don't really get in nightclubs. You don't really get second chances like that. You know what I mean? Like if a bottle presentation comes out and I go, oh shit, I'm on the wrong setting. Can you girls take it to the back and relight the sparklers and bring it back out for the person that's
They're
been
like,
waiting 10
"Fuck
minutes for
you."
their shit? Like nah, you gotta get it right. But
Damn.
that comes with repetition and repetition and repetition. I'm not gonna say I was good at this shit my first year. No, I was terrible. My
Okay.
first nightlife gig, I was terrible. I was told that I should never shoot again.
Who told you that?
It was I had a blog spot page and I would
Okay,
post
okay,
like
okay.
my photo albums, and I had an anonymous person comment under an album I did, and they said, worst photos ever, you should never shoot again.
Yo, tell that anonymous person, you know, you can go suck
So
yourself. You know?
what about
You're 15 years
what
in the
about
game deep now.
that? What about that motivated you as opposed to deterring you from doing it? Was it just the fact that you were on that grizzly and grind, or was it that you're like, fuck whoever this is, I'm just gonna keep going?
I get a
because
ki-
this is the kids. Like
Yeah.
the kids go through these situations all the time, but a lot of them are just giving up and saying, I'm gonna pick up the blicky. You know what
Honestly,
I mean?
I get a kick out of proving people wrong. I get a real kick out of it. You know what I mean? For the people that say, oh, this guy's trash, next thing you know, I'm in every fucking venue in this city. And if it's not me, it's somebody that works for me. You know what I mean? And it's like, I
That's
just get
crazy.
I get a real kick out of it for
Honestly,
real.
fam, you're a legend still. I can't lie. I can't lie. Okay.
That's dope, yo.
So,
Yeah, man.
what are the main differences that you find from the party culture, let's say 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
to the party culture that we face today?
Oh, the party culture 10 years ago. I'm gonna sound like that old guy. Like,
No,
you know what
just
I mean?
do
I'm
it,
gonna
bro.
sound,
Just
you know
do
what I
it.
mean? I'm gonna sound like
because
for
history
real,
is
like-
missing in Toronto. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
why people can diss Drake the way they can, because Drake's put in a lot of work in this city. He did a lot of shows. He did a lot of talent shows, all
Yep.
types of shit. He
Yep.
got shit on. He got loved. Like you know what I mean? There's a lot of history. But everybody's just talking about him like he's been out for the last 5 years and
They're-
making millions.
Like
you
he
know?
hasn't every year he's bangers on bangers. Like he didn't carry the game for 15 years.
But okay,
plus.
so to the point though,
Yeah.
what was the difference back then till now? What are the differences you see? Because you're literally the vision of the club. You know what I mean?
The club game, like I would say 10 years ago, it's definitely different now because COVID, I feel like it's parties pre-COVID
Right.
were so much more enjoyable than it is now. I feel like the people that were consistently going out back then, and I'm not gonna say it's like the club's fault. Well, they're partially to blame.
A lot of people had
But
kids during COVID.
A lot of people have definitely shifted because COVID forced them to. Right? COVID
definitely
broke a
agree with
lot
that.
of habits for people. People that were out every weekend,
Yeah,
partying,
Friday,
spending
Saturday,
money,
Sunday.
drinking, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Sunday.
Right.
That routine that people had pre-COVID has been broken.
Yeah, we all have
And-
a friend that parties every weekend,
Right,
and now
so
they're doing
like
I
something
had
now-
some
different.
people that made
Right.
COVID make the habit
So
even
now
worse.
now that you can't party no more during COVID, it's like that routine that you were in is now broken because you are stuck in the house. Right?
Yeah.
So now that things opened up again, and also let me get back to that. People were losing money weekly, right? Like
Yeah.
you weren't at work.
Yeah.
The money that you had, like you were dipping into your saving. Like I know
How did
photographers.
COVID affect you? Like,
It affected me terribly. My mental health. I didn't know if I was gonna shoot again. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was losing money every single month. You know, paying my rent, paying my bills. The serve check was cool, but it wasn't
Real
as
money.
much money as I was making. You know what I
when
mean?
you're
Like,
a baller and you have to come down to the service.
no,
it's not
because
safe.
I was, doing very well for myself, and then COVID hit, and I was like, oh shit! I just went from making like 10K a month to like,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
at 2 bands.
to literally two
Yeah,
bands.
yeah, so you're at, because that's what the surf track
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's a huge lifestyle change.
Yeah,
So,
I was
like,
doing well. You know what I mean? Like, And then I went from that to a Serb check, and I was like, oh shit,
It's like
this is
living
real.
to surviving.
So if I felt like that, imagine other people where it's like, yo, like I'm gonna hold on to every single penny I have now because COVID scared me into spending money, right? It scared a lot of people. Like I know photographers that had to sell their equipment just to make rent, and they are no
Fam,
longer shooting.
There was
Like they pivoted.
enough cheap equipment on
Hey,
Kijiji
what?
during
Never
COVID.
had that? If you had any
bought-
dream you had, you could have found it on Kijiji.
I bought my 70 to 200 millimeter lens from a photographer that pivoted into back in the work field, and he needed to sell that lens to make rent. I bought it for him for $700.
How much is what's like the retail
Those
on that?
lenses, brand new, are like $2,000, $2,300. I bought it off him for $700 during
Man, you're
COVID.
just desperate.
He was desperado.
yeah,
So it's
for
like,
sure struggling.
you know what I mean? So I took
Man
advantage
said
of
he's
that.
at Toyota Banderas.
But yeah, that's what happened to a lot of people. Like COVID scared people into like not spending money like they used to because it's like, yo, that shit traumatized me. Like I don't want to go out and spend that $100 tonight because what if COVID comes back and I don't have that?
So what was it like before COVID? Tell us about
It was
the glory
enjoyable.
days,
Like it was enjoyable. People went out just to, vibe. Like the vibe was different. It was just more, it was less social media. It was no TikTok like that. Like it was just people went out to like meet other people, and now people are going out to just like
Because
collect
10 years ago,
content,
social media is
collect
still a
stuff.
thing,
Yeah.
right? Social media is still a thing, like,
Yeah, but, like-
it wasn't the main thing of the.
and also the people that made the right people have like they're not out anymore. You know what I mean? So
Also-
like they everyone's pivoted. So now it's this new generation of people coming out, and they're
And
weird
they
as
don't
fuck.
even know how to party.
They're
No,
weird
they
as
don't
fuck.
Definitely know how to party, but also too, I feel like the next thing is like we were talking before about like during COVID. I feel like everybody's a social media star now.
Yeah.
Everybody, doesn't matter how big, they could have 5 followers. Yo, I'm a person.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're a regular person.
You're a regular.
It's the same Facebook profile you had
Yep.
10 years ago when you're in high school.
hit my chest
You're
with
the
that
same
one.
person. Just calm down. Just
You
go on
hit my
outside, have
chest.
some fun. But I definitely feel like now, like everybody feels like they're too cool for school. Like, relax.
You hit
Yeah.
my chest with that one because there used to be real club stars.
Yeah, real shit. There
When
was
they
some-
walk in the club, they shut it down.
Yeah.
And let's allude to like Lady Luckett. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah. Mona,
people like
legend,
Mona, people
legend.
like there's a lot of people,
Wayne
man.
Warner.
Sergio, Wayne
Wayne
Warner.
Warner, Serge.
They're throwing the party, but when they walk in the door, fam,
Party's
their
changed.
fit is different. Everybody, pictures, they're with a celebrity beside them. Like nowadays, it's like you have your phone and your camera, and that's all you need.
Yeah,
You know what I
weird
mean?
now.
people are creating the image of what it's like from their angle, their perspective of what the party could be like.
Not
And
for both
also
of
like
them,
if I'm gonna add into it, like a lot of the new generation partiers, like they just don't have the money that like 10 years ago we were in the club throwing money around like it was nobody's
Definitely,
business.
yeah.
I feel like these kids now, it's like they're more into like getting lit before they go to the club, or like doing drugs in the bathroom, or doing
Yeah,
drugs
yeah,
outside,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then they come to the party and harass the bartenders for
But why
water
do
all
you
night.
think?
That's literally what I see.
But why do you think that is? Is it not because of the price that it costs to drink now? Like
It's the same price it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
Maybe
like
a dollar.
It's like $60 for 2 drinks.
No, I feel like the club.
No,
the club
where?
prices.
Yeah, everywhere, man.
Where?
Everywhere. If you
What are you
wanna-
drinking?
What Casamigo? Like
$60?
I'm telling
A
you.
Casamigos like two shots, $20. You're looking like a 40 after, maybe with a tip us.
Tip us, it's like $50-$60.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Casamigos guy like that.
Well, but
like,
I'm saying that's the drink right now.
yeah,
You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
drinking no Jose Cuervo though, but like I'm, like I love Trombo though.
What's wrong with you?
I love Trombo.
No,
I
I know
love
it's
Patron.
trouble, but I'm saying the going rate for if you want to look cool, if you want even the aspect of the bartender pouring the Casamigo in your cup so the girl behind you can see that is now a $60 charge. So I'm thinking like,
But I feel like I agree with you. That's the same price from time.
It's been the same price.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like-
it's just that these kids coming up now, they don't got it like that, like how like we had it when we were in the club, because we had multiple jobs. I feel like a lot of kids now
Yeah.
want to be content creators, and they're just hoping to go viral, so they hit that lick. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
definitely
like,
agree with that.
I see it all
if
the
you
time.
want to be a
guys.
real content
No, I
creator,
see
you
it
have
all
to
the
put a
time.
little
Like,
money into
I'll
it.
be at the bar and I just pay attention to people because like I'm a photographer. Like I can't help but watch body language, right?
Okay.
So I'll be at the bar, find me a little corner, and I'm in there and I'm watching people at the bar, and I see them asking the bartender, how much is this, or like how much is that, and I'm just like,
Asking
wow.
how much?
I didn't even do that. That's
Oh
crazy.
my goodness, how
Fam,
much for
did
2
we even
beers?
have?
How much?
Did we even? We couldn't even ask that back.
We
You couldn't
couldn't
ask
ask
that. You either you knew your limit.
If you ask the
You knew your
bartender
limit.
how much something is,
Go
get
home.
the fuck
Go
out.
home.
They're actually
Go
moving
home.
you out the way. Like, go
Get out.
back.
You
Next
what do
guy,
you want? Come
what do
person,
you
there's
want?
bring
What do
you
you
forward.
Oh my
That's
god!
it.
One time I went to Mona's party. I was 20 years old. Mona had a party for the Lakers. One of the craziest parties. And
Is this Shaq days or?
Shaq days. So
Mad.
was it Shaq day?
What year was it?
No, this is 2000 and like.
So like Kobe days.
It's Kobe days
It's
for sure.
definitely Kobe
days for
days.
sure.
Okay.
So we go to the party. Me and my boy, we were like what? We were like 19, 20 years old. This is like
Fresh.
before I start even taking photos in the club.
Right.
And I went there and I'm in there and I'm, feeling good. And I'm like, yeah. But I'm one of the youngest guys in there, right? So I'm in there. I go to the bar. Beautiful bartender. I ask her, I said, can I get a tequila? No, I was drinking. What was I drinking? I was still drinking vodka because I didn't even experience. I didn't experience tequila.
Great Goose times.
I said,
Belvedere.
can I get a vodka cranberry? The default drink. Can I get a vodka cran?
At least you know yourself. Still,
Oh man, my boy ordered one too.
But fam, that was a $20 drink. She's like, I
It
got
was
$20.
because the party was in Yorkville, so I
111?
had no
was
idea.
this Club 111?
I think it was called Club V. Club
Okay,
V or,
I remember
something like
Club
that.
V.
Hive or
Oh, yeah,
Club
I
V, something like
remember
that.
V. I remember V.
I'm in there. The bartender says that'll be $40.
Bumble Clad.
As a 19-year-old, I was like, oh shit, because I was broke.
That was
as
my
hell.
whole budget. That was the whole budget for the night.
That was the budget for the night.
Yeah, bro.
I
I
was
was
just
even
trying
for
to, you know
food
what I mean?
after the club and
I
shit.
lied.
But
I
I
want
know-
taxi ride home.
But like I learned quick, like you gotta have that etiquette when you get to the bar, and you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
hit up the bartenders, like that's just nightlife etiquette. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. You can't be going to the bar and asking the bartenders how much something is. That's nuts.
It's crazy though. But going back to what we were talking about with the youth, I feel like most of them now, like life is more expensive.
Life is definitely more expensive.
Not like I definitely agree. The nightlife has kind of relatively stayed the same price, but I feel like other expenses like rent, groceries, buying a Kicks, buying a drip. Like
Absolutely.
back in the day, like when we were youth, like we could have said, all right, yo, my paycheck, I'm gonna pay my rent, have a little change, buy a one drip,
Yeah.
you can buy a small little buckle,
Yeah.
and get into the club and pitch on a bottle with my dogs.
Yeah.
But now,
But
man,
hold
they're just
on,
trying to
the
go in there
thing
trying
too
to
is a
go.
lot of things have changed based on the fact that monkey see, monkey do. This is the most follow backy culture we've ever had.
For sure, for sure.
When I used to go back to the club back in the day, because they call me the OG for a reason. You know what I'm saying? People used to buy their outfit from H&M. Nobody knows.
Oh,
It's
we-
just fit.
Man,
Yeah.
It's just their fit.
we
Now these guys
raced
want to wear
H&M.
Gucci. Now they want to
Yeah.
wear Louis. Now they want you have to
You had
look
to have a
certain
sense
way.
of style back in the day. You
Yeah,
had to have your own
you have
sense
to
of
have your own
style.
style. But I'm saying,
My biggest issue is when I walk in the club and I see like 15 guys wearing the same Amiri shirt. That is my biggest like. I lose
no, but
it.
I'm saying though, I see that too, and it's like you see the scammer dressed head to toe,
Yeah.
Gucci socks, Gucci brief, Gucci headband. It's just like, okay, bro, you can't dress, but you went to Gucci and spent your whole,
Yeah, spend your whole re-up
what
on the
I'm
shit,
saying?
like-
But after you spend that, how much money do you really have to spend at the bar? You know what I'm
mean,
saying? So
yeah.
it's just pressure from so many different angles for these kids, and I get it. You know?
I feel like there's definitely a lot of different pressures, but I feel like when we were younger, being an individual was more like, I guess you could say, idolized. or
Individuality was
pushed.
more, individuality was more like people respected you more for your individuality.
Reality.
Now I feel like people
If you're
are
not
just
conforming,
following,
like you're a fucking loser. It's like
weird,
if you
bro.
stand out, like it's like too bad, so sad, man.
So we kind of touched on it, but I'm saying like nowadays we're seeing parties in coffee shops, skate parks, fucking library party. We've even seen in London they have a chess
the
party.
chess party, yeah.
People are, you know what? Because partiers now, like the generational, like the pivot that has happened since COVID, it's forced club owners or people who throw parties to think outside the box and try to get people back into being social. Because it's also like partying is also a social thing, and people are not social anymore.
No, definitely
You know
not.
what I mean? They'd rather sit home and TikTok and stream all day or all night. Instead of saying, you know what, let's go out and meet people
and
organically.
feel like
That's what I say to my brethren all the
Yeah.
time. The gal them nowadays, they don't like the hand-to-hand combat no more.
No,
they don't
they
even
don't.
want you to come up to them,
Yeah.
but then they're gonna say, "Mans don't come up to me no more." Like, make
That's
it
the
make
Gallem.
sense.
The Gallem, but you know the Gallem are in the confusion always. So that's a separate topic for a different day.
Can't have it both ways, man.
Right?
You know
The
what I
Gallem
mean?
are in the confusion.
But like for me, like I don't approach like women in the club like that. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the
They
corner.
approach you, dog. You're the cameraman.
You're the guy.
See
It's
this
different
guy?
for you.
Cameramans
And you're
are different
tall.
still.
Girls like, holy, he's tall and he's taking the photos and I can be famous. Yeah, this guy just has them all fathered right now. Like, I know you have all the y'all them fathered nonstop every minute when you go to the club.
Yeah, nah, it's, you know what I mean? I just,
And I said,
look, man,
yeah, you know,
all I got for you is a shot of tequila. That's it. That's all I got for you.
yo,
a shot of tequila.
are you still like pouring like you know, you're doing the mouth shots, still
Fuck
walking
no.
around the club?
No, man.
Or you're just
No,
chilling,
no.
you're chilling in the corner.
You go to the bar, you order what you want, and that's it.
Man, back in the day, you used to walk around with your bottle. That's used to get the chicks back in the day.
You used to
take
walk
your
around with the
bottle.
bottle, right.
Yo, bring your branches, bring your branches. Now you have 5 things in your sections, all your dogs are hating. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
I did that. You don't do that anymore?
Nah,
What
man,
happened, man? What
that's
happened to
not
love
me,
the
bro.
game?
It's not him.
Nah, man.
What happened to the game I
he's a
love,
sniper,
bro?
He's a sniper, fam.
You know what
can
it is?
tell.
I don't even do bottle shots like that no more because like the bottle shots I see people do now, it's like they're just putting their mouth on the fucking faucet and shit. I see the next person,
They
the
didn't
next
have
person.
the OG transition.
Yeah.
You know how we had the we could watch in the club and see how to act in the
Yeah,
club?
yeah.
They never had that for 5 years of COVID.
True. Man,
now
just
it's
waking up and just walking to the club for
they're
the first
literally-
time.
They're literally making it up by watching old Nelly videos. You know what I'm saying?
But no, yo, you know what I want to speak about that. I feel like because the youth them are not watching music videos, they're not getting trained. You know, we were watching Ja Rule in the club. We were watching 50 in the club. We showed how to pop the bottle. He was like, okay, that's how you
Dress
do it.
business
You
casual
yeah,
to the
you
party,
know,
bro.
you got your
Remember that?
cardigan on. You got your chateau.
We have to go to Le Chateau to get the Argyle sweater. Man.
You got your cardigan on.
Got
You're
the
looking
cardigan
that's
on.
real.
Oh my
Looks
goodness.
like you have your resume
Yo,
ready
I'm
to
gonna
fucking
keep
show
it
some
real.
shit.
After I saw Belly, I walked into clubs like that for 12 years straight.
Yep.
Slow motion. I'm trying to watch slow motion.
To look
licking
sick,
the
bro. You
lips,
wanna-
looking at the gal. You know, like
Man.
Yo, that was the moment though. When you walked in,
106 in Park. Can't wait to get to the club. Can't wait to be 19 years old so the club can mysteriously have rain falling from the ceiling in the club. And everybody's just walking in slow motion and
bro,
shit.
that's how it feels, yo.
I walk in the club now, I'm like, what is this?
Yo, that's how it feels though.
Where's the
man.
rain? Like,
That's
what
how it
the-
fucking feels though. When you're
after
first time in the club, it feels like
ready,
that.
ready.
why isn't anybody dancing in choreography? You know what I mean? Like,
No, hold up. Back in our time, we had those. We had the dancers. We had some real
They were the-
dancers.
okay, yeah,
It was a
yeah.
little bit different for us. We
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
man two-step.
when the dance all come on, everybody
yeah,
clear
yeah.
the floor
The
because the
dancers
dancers
came in the
are
middle.
coming up.
You
Yeah.
guys can dance in the middle. I'm gonna talk to
The
the
girls,
chicks in
them,
the back.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Not gonna lie. If I had a couple of these, you know, my
feel
knees
you.
get real. You know, get real. I'm real there. You know.
Nightlife, man, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
what would you say the pitfalls are of just living that nightlife? You've been in the club industry, not necessarily you yourself, or you can even tap into that, but just, you know, maybe tap into some stories of just situations, whether it's a photographer, bartender, club owner, flirt nightclub, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's been a lot of, you know, hectic stories. Like, what are the pitfalls that you've noticed where it goes kind of wrong? You know?
I feel like right now, one of the pitfalls with the industry right now is getting. I feel
You're a
like-
guy, so you got to watch what you say right now.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a disconnect with a lot of owners and the community that they're trying to build within the venues, right? Like, for instance, I'll use AMPM as an example. Shout out Benny, shout out Cam, shout out everybody involved in AMPM. They figured it out. They have it down to a science in terms of, yes, they're the owners, but they also bartend. So they're
Seeing people.
really involved
And
with
engaging with
every
their audience.
single person, their audience, their community, and they've built such a loyal
Yo,
community.
it feels different when I can
When-
hail the
yeah.
owner.
yeah.
Holy, you feel like
And
a
they're
person.
there, right? Like, they make you, not that they're like trying to make you feel special, but they're there and like they
That
treat
makes
you like a real person.
No, but that makes people feel special. Like the
Yeah.
owner coming up to you, wow, like you're good. Like,
Yeah.
is your drink good? Like, just a
Are
simple
you
thing
good?
like that.
You know what? Hey, I remember you from last week. Thanks for coming. Here's the first round on me.
Exactly,
I
shit
feel
like that. Customer
they
service,
haven't
man.
figured it out. Their customer service is a 12 out of 10. And then you have other clubs in Toronto where it's like the owners are barely there. They are only there with just their friends and they don't like
Engage.
try to engage in the people that are spending money in your venue. Like the owners are acting too cool.
Would you say that's kind of like, you know, and I want to say R.I.P. Ollie, right now from
Oh,
Cold T.
yeah, R.I.P.
Cold
Ollie.
T was they set the bar.
Ollie was the best. Like,
you know what I mean?
funny story how I met Ollie is I went to Cold T Kensington for the first time ever, right? Because I was such a King Street shooter that like all the other parties on Queen West or Kensington or Dundas, I never heard of them before. Like Apartment 200, I haven't heard of it before. I didn't know any of these places yet. So I had a friend bring me to Cold T Kensington, and I was always like, all right, fine. Let me see what this party is, whatever, fine. Because I was so used to King Street.
Fucking
I get to
Ranger.
Cold T, finally get it. Insane lineup on a Sunday. Insane. But
It
I
was
get
like
through
4
it.
people wide and
Yeah.
like a
Holy
hallway
shit.
deep.
Yeah, and it's
4
like
people
fucking
wide.
small ass
So-
rooftop shit.
I finally get in. First thing, being annoyed in that hot ass hallway, I need a drink. So I go to the bar, and I stand at the bar, and then I see Ollie behind the bar, and then Ollie looks at me and he goes, "Who are you?"
This guy's so tall. This guy's 6'8", bro. Like,
Fam, he just had a different way of customer
Yeah,
service that
yeah.
made you feel like you're at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then he walks from behind the bar and stands beside me, and he goes, "You are the biggest human I've ever seen in my life." And then he just made me smile and laugh. And that's when I knew right away I'm here. Like, I'm like Kensington, Cold T, Ollie, like these venues that have that. Like, and Cold T Kensington had a loyal, very loyal community that supported every week
That
because
bar
Yeah,
the
that-
owners and everybody involved made you feel like a real person. And I feel like that's why a lot of clubs now in Toronto, like, they won't admit it, but like they're struggling because it's like there's a disconnect between the people that are here and you guys.
And they have regulars too.
And there are regulars, there
That's
are.
crazy.
But like, it's not about the tables that you guys have. It's about the people that fill the room and,
exactly.
and like keep that energy
because
high.
when people feel comfortable like that,
yeah.
that's when the party turns into the rager.
There it
that's
is.
when they're gonna buck their shirt off
There
because
it
they feel
is.
like they're at home and swing from the rafters and
Yeah.
just do some shit
That's
that's,
why,
gonna
like,
look good on Chris Reed's pictures the
that's
next
why
day.
Time
you know?
nightclub worked. It was the best.
$100
party.
bottles on Sunday.
$100 bottles.
yo, I remember, yo.
The bouncer
$100 bottles.
remembered everybody's
Bouncer
name.
remembers everyone. Shout out Eddie.
Yep.
Fire.
Yep.
You know, Mickey was in there every Sunday.
Yes, yes.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yo, that's
It was
crazy.
all love. It was like it was a community. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was great for as long as it was. You know what I mean? Lost and found Mondays. They
sure.
did it right. You know what I mean?
Right.
EFS, like it was a place that it was the default nightclub of Toronto for
hear you,
8
man.
years.
Yeah, EFS, man.
It had a
like,
time. It had a
mad
time. to
shootouts and never closed down.
For sure. I don't know how they beat those ones, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit. When do you think the party turned? When do you think it changed from a dance to a bento box structure? And what do you think about today? And why do you think it's gonna be like that going forward? Or why do you think it should change going forward?
So we kind of touched on it. Changed from the bento box culture during COVID, whatever.
Yeah. So it went from
But what's
the club.
the future?
What's the
What do
future
you
of the
think
club
the future?
looks like?
I think the owners got to get in with the community. The owners got to get in. They got to tap in. They got to tap in with the new gen. They have to, or else you fall.
So you want you feel like
So,
the
hold on,
owner
you
has
think
to
it's
be inside
gonna
the
end?
crowd.
You think it's gonna end?
I feel like it's right now. It's in shambles. Like this winter, the nightlife scene has been bad. It's been bad for everybody except AMPM. But it's been it's been bad. You know what I mean? Like I've noticed it, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat or act like I'm not gonna like. You know what I mean?
Well, it helps
I
you
see
make money
it.
too, right?
I see,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is my money too. But like let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
It's been bad. You know what I mean? So I feel like, and then I go to AMPM and I'm like, there's a lineup down the street. Why do they have this and all the other venues in the city don't have this?
No pressure.
You know what I mean? AMPM has no
pressure.
pressure.
No pressure.
But the
No
thing is that
pressure.
like it's how you're making your customers feel. Make them feel special. Make them feel appreciated.
It's super important. Like
It's important.
I feel like that's
you
like
can't just be a guy with the money, open up a space and say, okay guys, go party.
no, it doesn't
It's
work
kind of like
that.
it's kind of comparative to sports because there's owners like Mark Cuban,
Right.
who really cares about
Oh, he
his team
cares.
and he's
Yeah.
talking to the players at their practice when they're on their rest breaks and
Yeah.
shit. And then there's guys like Raptors.
Yeah, like I've got it. Like I've had chances to kick it with Mark Cuban, and he's awesome. Like we've sat down at dinners and we've had conversations, and he is like so involved.
All right, you
with,
gotta
like,
tell
the
him Mark
people he
Cuban
cares
story
about.
now.
tell
You
a
gotta tell
Cuban-
him Mark
you gotta
Cuban story.
tell
You
a
gotta say,
Cuban-
I sat
you
down
gotta-
at dinner with
No,
Mark
man.
Cuban. You
Give
gotta
me a
tell a
Cuban
story
story.
now, bro.
Give him some
No,
game
Mark
to put you
Cuban.
on.
No, Mark Cuban's hilarious, man. He's hilarious. Like
So hold
he's
on,
just,
Mark Cuban's funny and
He's
he's rich.
funny.
This guy's
He's
into all
funny.
the bitches, bro.
Oh yeah, no, he's
Mad,
funny.
like, this
No,
guy's-
Mark is dope. You know, I met him because I have a friend on the team of the Dallas Mavericks. I have a friend on that team, and you know, Mark Cuban was in the city, and I got a chance to meet him, and then again in Vegas, and he's just a wholesome dude, man. He really cares about the league. He cares about anyone who introduces him as like a brother. He treats you like you're his brother. Really and truly.
But it kind of speaks to how he'll never lose money. Because when you treat people like that, bro,
it comes back around.
Yeah, exactly.
Treat people right, it'll come back around.
For sure.
Don't big bro nobody. Don't like, word to advice, do not big bro anybody because you big bro someone, you gonna be little bro in a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure, your time. Everybody has the time, bro. Like your time can pass. Your time can. If you want longevity, you got to make those connections. You got to treat people
the
well.
toes you step on the way up gonna be the asses you got to kiss on the way down. Right? You got to treat people right.
Say it again, though. Say it again. Say that again.
The toes you step on coming up is gonna be the asses you got to kiss on the way down. Right? And you got to treat people right.
Fam, at the end of the day, this new age, we keep talking new age, old age, but AI coming out. Do you feel like AI could ever take your position? Is your position secure?
I mean, imagine a club using AI photos to promote their club. Like, imagine like a club like creating this AI girl that was never there or is not a real person and saying, yo, she's on the flyer, like, yo, she's here tonight. What are you talking about? What are we talking about?
It's real life.
This is real life. The nightlife is real life, bro. Like,
That's funny you say that because sometimes I look at these club promos and they did hire two models for the...
The club's got to stop putting the celebrities on the fucking flyer that's not going to be there. I fucking hate that shit. I've hated that shit.
I think it's hilarious, bro. They put like Shensia. You know she's not there.
Bro,
Shensia
is in Barcelona. Shensia's in Barcelona. She's on tour. Or she's like, why is she on the flyer?
Makes no sense. You could have got any model chick from the world to be on the front. Like, you know what I mean?
So AI can't do what you do, is what you're saying.
AI can't replace a nightlife shooter because I gotta be there for those key moments. Those moments, that guy that spins a girl around, or a girl that, I don't know, just flips her hair, or bottles coming out, or someone, you know what I mean? Just the moment. Like, AI can't take that.
True. I feel you on that,
all right,
man.
so the next one I want to talk about. In Toronto, we see like hundreds of clubs get shut down, reopen, get shut down.
Yeah.
But what happens after it gets shut down for the last time? What happens to the community?
They got to figure out the next best thing for them.
So, what I mean? Like, what do those people do? Like, do they go to another street?
Do they go to the next
club?
Like one spot, a new spot? They like just all gravitate,
or do they keep calling the same promoter 100 times?
LeBrunch ended.
Right.
Where did that whole crowd go?
They had kids. They got married and had kids. Literally.
Okay.
There's maybe about 10% of those same LeBrunchers that are out, but like rarely. Like that LeBrunch crowd, they don't go out anymore. They're gone. They're married, have kids, they moved out the city. COVID, like it like I said, it broke those habits.
Jeez.
Mans fell in love.
Started new habits.
Yeah, started different types of
starting
habits.
new habits. Maybe
that
it's better, you know.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. That's
That's nuts, bro.
Yo, it's the reason why I like interviewing legends is because you motherfuckers always stump me on some shit. Like, you throw my head back, pause, you know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, it's like it really was that way. And now that you bring like the habitual thing into it, it scares me a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like I just keep thinking, is this an industry that will die? Or, you know?
You know what, man? Like I said, in order to keep this shit going the way, like to keep it and bring it back to what it was, the owners, in my opinion, have to tap in. Take a page out of AMPM's book. Take a page. I feel like every owner in the city just needs to go to AMPM one weekend. Just take time away from your venue to go look around.
Okay.
Look around.
See what your competition is doing.
And I don't even like to call it competition because I feel like, you know, if one place is busy and there's I don't like the word competition. It's just more just like see how your fellow owners are doing and how they're doing it. And
you feel like the pie is big. Like there's a club for everybody.
It's big enough. It's just that, you know, look, like the clubs on Queen Street, they're all friends. And Dundas West, they're all friends. Like Mahjong Bar and Bar Mordecai, they're friends. Libertine, they're all friends.
Big up to Kyle.
Yeah, like Apartment 200. They don't like Apartment 200, Cold Tea. Like they're all friends. They're all friends. They all they go to each other's clubs all the time and hang out and stuff like that.
That's
Like, you know what I mean?
dope. So they create a club community.
There's a community, but like I don't see it that way on King Street. I don't see it that way. It's those guys suck, and it's like yeah, but that club's good. They suck, and it's just you know what I mean. It's not like that on Queen Street.
You can't say they suck if their party looks better than yours, bro. Like it's kind of hard to say that shit.
It's hate all around on King.
Far left.
Yeah.
Have you ever been torn apart between the? I wouldn't call it a beef. I wouldn't call it even a tiff. Have you ever been torn between the OVO and EXO divide?
That for me, I don't get involved in that.
But I'm saying in terms of work, like have you ever been said like a man comes to you and he's like, oh, I seen you did the EXO party last night. Why'd you do that? Like, have you ever been torn apart by the industry like that, or did they just look at it as business?
It's business. I'm a professional. You know what I mean?
Right.
I get paid to do a job. I'll do the job. You know what I mean? I'm not involved in any kind of like politics or anything like that.
Guy's like, I'm a civilian, dog.
I'm a regular person. I'm just trying to collect a check. Shout out to Rob for it. Pay my taxes.
I'm a regular guy.
No, I like that though. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're showing a lot of things that people make errors in. A lot of people choose sides. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that is the smartest way to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people just want to be cool,
that.
so they'll definitely pick a side. They always think whatever side is going to be up, it's like, all right, I got to be that. But realizing like, you can just be yourself.
It's Toronto, man.
You got to be an individual, like we were talking
Toronto,
about.
man.
You got to be an individual, like from earlier.
You've seen a lot of people pick sides. I'm sure.
It happens too often.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens. But like me, it's just, I think they're both incredible artists. And, you know, I enjoy both of their discographies. And I think both of their collection of work is incredible. And I hope one day
that we'll hear
it's all
collab.
love and peace.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Man.
But like,
maybe
at the
when
end of
they're
the
like
day-
in their greatest hits years, they'll do a collaboration or a feature.
I mean, they're the two greatest to ever do it. So like,
that's what I'm
you know
saying.
what I mean?
Out of Toronto too.
All right, yo.
Yeah.
So my next question is, honestly, when I was doing my research on you, I'm like, yo, this guy has met like every single famous person from like the time I've been like early 20s till now. So my question for you is, who's the most famous person in your phone?
In your phone, you said Mark Cuban. To me, you are
in my phone, no, Mark Cuban's not on my phone like that. I just got a chance to meet him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like,
in your phone, you can say, yo, Wagwan, you're blessed.
Shout out my dog Norm Powell.
Okay.
Shout out my brother
Hey.
Norm.
Big up Norm.
But yo, you're
That's
not
my
taking
brother.
it
That's
in,
my
fam.
family.
From Brampton to Norm Powell,
That's
fam.
a big thing. Like,
guys, this is a possibility.
That's my
like,
dog.
you can do this, guys. You know what I'm
UTG,
saying?
you understand the grind. That's his brand.
Okay, so you've been in this game for 15 years.
Yeah.
Is there an exit plan for the nightlife, or is it just a drug you can't get enough of?
Ooh, you know what?
I'm
That's a
saying?
good question because like sometimes
It's still business to you.
it's
but
still
at the
business,
same
but at
time-
the same time, it's like sometimes I'm just like, man, I gotta get out of this shit. But like the money's good. The money's good. I love doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like photography is my first love, right? Like I'm addicted. Like whenever I'm out without my camera, I feel weird. And that just goes to show you, like, I love doing this shit. And, you know, like, it's good money in what I'm doing. And
So is there
the exit plan for me,
Yeah.
it would be like ownership in a venue. You know what I mean? Like taking a page out of Benny and Cam's book, you know, and then saying, yo, I want to do this too as a photography and have like a creator's bar. You
That's
know?
cool.
I'm gonna be at that spot every night.
That'd
You
be
have
cool.
to
I
write
definitely
my
think
name.
you'd be dope.
I'm gonna
Because
stand in the
I
same
feel
corner.
like I've seen for so many years, I've seen what has worked and what hasn't worked. So like now that I would have my own spot with some cool partners that I really respect and have love for, we would do it the right way.
That's sick, bro.
You know?
honestly,
Yeah.
if you did that, I would fucking support
I feel
it,
like
man.
some of the
you
best.
get my money still.
I feel like some of the best owners out there are the owners that were like really in the game. Whether you
Right.
were a busser, whether you were a bartender, whether you
Promoter,
were
whatever.
Yeah, you guys make they make the best owners because they know what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
They get it.
For sure.
Can't just be a guy with money and say, okay, I'm gonna open up this venue. Party.
What's
Well,
more important?
Yeah, I was gonna say going back to that. Like,
Yeah.
do you need like a reputation to be in the nightlife scene?
Reputation? No, I feel like you build your reputation in the nightlife scene.
So like
build
a
it
guy
in.
with money, he's just a nobody. Even though let's say like a guy like he has street cred, he has music
okay.
cred.
That's what you mean.
Like, do you need something like that to really make it within the industry?
I mean, first it starts off with your friends supporting the venue. right? Like your closest friends, colleagues, whatever, supporting the venue, and then it outreaches into their network of people, and then it kind of, you know, grows from that. But yeah, you can't just be a guy with money and just open up a venue and say, okay, guys, go party. You need the right promoters, you need the right staff, you need the right content, the right DJs, the right photographers. It goes down to even the right doorman.
Wow. Okay.
From
Everything
the
goes down
moment
to
you
a
walk in the
science.
fucking place to the moment you hit the back wall, it has to be an
It
experience.
has to be an experience,
Right.
and you need the doorman that
This guy's
can
a
talk to people the
branding
right
genius.
way. Yeah, like
Branding genius.
It starts from outside the venue.
So hold on, is there more than just photography? Do you do a little marketing?
Oh yeah,
now?
I do photo shoots. You know, I've done so many different types of photo shoots, and you know, but like
I seen the
events.
Fred Van Vliet one with the
Oh yeah,
Uggs
I
and
did.
shit. That was heavy.
Yeah,
still, yeah,
Freddie
right.
for
Was it Uggs like that?
I did one for Uggs,
Okay.
and then I did one.
That's a heavy
for,
brand. Like,
I did one for Leaning,
okay.
which is like the Nike of Asia.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
Yeah, I know what that one is.
yeah, I did that campaign for him, which was really sick.
That's sick.
Oh.
So, you know, they told me it was on billboards and like all over China and shit. So I was really like happy to see that.
That's sick.
Yeah, that was dope.
See this guy? Yo, I'm telling you,
Accomplishments
that's a
on top of
legend,
accomplishments.
fam.
bro.
I'm grateful.
So,
I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
On this
Shout out
show,
Freddie.
we're obviously wearing the ski mask. We're not trying to rob you. You know,
Dog,
you thought
when
we
you
were
guys,
gonna,
when y'all
you
hit
got
me
Caesar
up,
beside you here, like
when y'all hit me up, I said, boy, these guys, man, I'm about to get robbed on this set. Man. But no,
man.
I checked the content out, and I really appreciate what, you know, like what you guys are doing and how you're doing it. And
Appreciate
it's different.
that, man.
Thanks,
It's
man.
different. It definitely caught my eye. Like it was different. I saw the ski mask and, you know, I said, whoa, but like it's dope.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Where do you wear your mask? Do you wear it at work or home?
Where do I wear my mask? I wear my mask sometimes. Well, not sometimes. I wear it at work.
You wear it at work.
Whenever I'm shooting, I'm locked in. You know what I mean? It
Game
depends.
face.
Huh?
Game face.
It's game face at work.
You're like Kobe, like 81 points. Cha, cha.
So,
Especially like if the party is not as energetic, then I really gotta like make it work. You know what I mean? Because like the best shooters, in my opinion, are the shooters that can make a dead party look fire.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement.
And I made a career off that. Like I've built my name off of making parties that weren't so poppin', look like it was poppin'.
like you should have been.
Like
there.
I
Come
don't
to the
care.
next
Like
one.
yo, bottle girls, come here. I need y'all for the picture. Take your fucking waistbands off. You need to look like you just came to party tonight. I need y'all to look like you're not working. Take the fucking strap off and pose up. Like I need that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you know, yeah. It's
Jeez.
I
Okay.
made a career off doing that. So, you know, yeah, I get a kick out of the challenge.
I definitely like that because you, like you said, you wear the mask at work. You definitely got to dress the party up so you can get your audience to look like, yo, I have to be wherever this guy's at.
Yeah.
So you're definitely putting on a mask to show everybody what this could possibly be like. So
I feel like photographers are
Totally
very underappreciated in nightlife
Right.
right now in 2025. Like in like 2015, we were very appreciated because you know it had to be shown what happened that night. But I feel like in 2025, I feel like it's like, yo, just because some girl took an IG story of the venue, it's like and it looked lit. Someone else could do the same thing and it looks like shit, or the party looked dead. You know what
yeah,
I
and
mean?
then someone's like, yo, this is what it actually looked like. versus
People got to
that.
start respecting the photographers and the DJs again because we
I
are
don't
the
respect.
ones.
I don't respect the story videos
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, once someone sees the light, they're either running to it or running away from
Yeah.
it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never respect that. It's like there's art to what you do. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you even coming on the platform. But to kind of wrap it up, photography, you've done it for years.
Yeah.
Why didn't you take the next step, or do you have the plan to take the next step to maybe like short films, or have you done this already?
It's
or-
definitely been on my mind, man. Like learning how to do video because I'm definitely leaving a lot of money on the table not doing video.
I'm telling you, and you got the
100%,
eye, brother.
100%.
You could
And
be the new Hype Williams
because
of
I'm
Toronto and
such
shit.
a lover of stills.
Right.
I love photography so much. But like I definitely need to get in my, you know,
Director bag,
my
at
Steven
least.
Spielberg bag.
Yeah,
I
at
definitely
least,
got to get in that
at
bag
least
and figure it
minimum,
out.
fam. I'm telling you.
No,
I'm
you're right.
telling
You're
you.
100% right. And I need that kick in the ass sometimes because sometimes I do catch myself being a little too comfortable.
Well,
And I
the
need to-
money's good, right? Like,
Fair, but
you
I
can't
feel
tell
like-
a man to
you
pull
need
out.
to do like a
But I
story
need
You
to
can't
get-
pull out the
like,
umbrella
with
when the
photos.
sun's out.
But
You
I
know
need
what
to
I'm
get
saying?
on. I need to get uncomfortable again.
What about like
You know?
doing like like you say you're like photos or like like a video photo type of deal like you see like
Or like a real, or like a
yeah like, one
a
of
football?
those like you see
Fam,
them,
I don't
Like
fuck
cap-
that
like,
shit.
what's it
Fuck
called,
that shit.
cap
Do a
cut?
movie, nigga.
Yeah.
Do a movie. Do
Yeah,
a
no,
movie
you're
for some
right.
girl.
See,
Like,
bro,
you know what I'm
actually, like some
saying?
stills, you know,
You got the
one
girls, you
step
got
at
the,
a time,
you
bro.
know, you can find some, you know.
I'm in the process of
You know?
like really and truly dissecting how to edit, because my problem is video editing. I can't edit for shit. I can edit a photo, but I can't edit like
maybe,
video.
you know, you put a team. You got a team already, so maybe one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of them's a video guy.
I'm trying to start a movie still. You don't know, Mr. Let's Party.
I'm honestly
trying to be in that.
A lot of people don't push the legends, but if we don't push Jordan, does he get 6 rings? If mans aren't shitting on him because he's shit at baseball, saying why the fuck are you even in this sport? You know, does he elevate and come back and win 3?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Came back and won 3 more.
At the end of the day, we got to push the stars even higher.
Absolutely,
sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I would really appreciate to see your eye on a Toronto story.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Mr. Let's Party.
And
just make sure
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out your Instagram and all that shit where people can find you online.
IG socials is I am Chris Rain. That's pretty much the only social I have. I'm not on TikTok. I can't do it. I feel like, like I'm not a content creator. I'm not trying to like, you know, get ready with me to go do this photo shoot. Like, I'm sorry. I'm 36 years old. Like, I can't. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, so hold up. With that being said, like, what do you want to see happen in the nightlife?
I want to see the energy come back. Like, I want to see the party lit again. That's all. I want to see it lit again. No egos. Leave the Amiri shirts at home. Leave the fucking, like, leave the designer at home. Just wear a blank tee and just be a good person and come party. Like, I don't care what you wear. Ladies, like, leave the panda dunks at home. I'm sorry. Like, stop wearing the wrestling suits and panda dunks. Like, leave it at home.
Mr. Perfect.
Put a nice dress on. You know what I mean?
Dress
Fellas,
on, look nice.
good.
Yeah,
Fellas,
yeah.
get a
You're
fucking
killing
lineup,
me, dog.
fellas. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
everybody got to come right. Like, just come correct to the to the party again and make it lit again.
With
That's
that
it.
being said,
Yeah.
Mr. Let's Party, OG MacG,
You already know.
Balaclava Diaries, like and subscribe.
The tallest fucking photographer in the city. You don't know, Mr. Chris.
Got it.
Yo, thank you.
Thanks, bro.